Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Cody, and today we are doing the beautiful controller port video for everybody that wants to know how I've got mine set up, and you can follow along and set yours up like mine, and of course make changes and set it up however you want for your Steam Deck. So before we even get started, if you've seen my other video, I'll have it in the description below. To make sure you've got everything set up. But first thing you want to do is go to add-ons, and you're going to want to turn off ConsolePort action bar. This here is quite important to make, I think, a clean experience, and this actually came from one of our viewers. He suggested turning it off, and he was spot on. Like, it's definitely made the game better in my personal opinion. The next thing you want to do is you're going to go to push the Steam button, controller settings, and you're going to search for King Salami's WoW controller. That will be what you want. Okay, so what we've got is we've got the left mouse, the right trackpad is a mouse, and clicking it is your click. Once we load in here, we'll crack into it. Okay, so we're in game here, and before we go through all of this, I think what we're going to want to do is go through all of the settings, and then after that I'll explain how everything works, okay? So once you're in game, you're going to want to push your menu button, and you should come to something like this. What you want to do is go to System, Controls. Now, if you've set this up, it should be on Steam Deck already, and you can just go to Bindings. Okay, and from here, you're just going to follow along with what I've done. So, action bars, this is all you want to do. I've got mine set to X, Y, B, and then left trigger held X, Y, B again, right trigger X, Y, B, and then left and right trigger X, Y, B, okay? And that gives you a nice clean run of your action bars. Next up, there shouldn't be anything in here, nope. And then next up, what you're gonna wanna do is I've got interact on R3, which is your right analog stick click. Nearest enemy on right bumper. A is jump. L3 is toggle auto run. You know, the triple lines for your menu screen. Left hand button is for the map. For zooming your character in and out, I've got it so you hold left. So left and right trigger plus the R3 buttons is for zooming in and zooming out. Following on from there, I've got left bumper is target toggle raid cursor. So this is just for healing. This isn't going to apply to everyone, so you may not want this here, but I would recommend you have some form of clicking on allies for buffs and debuffs. So just keep that in mind. Okay, next up I've got the utility ring on right on the D-pad, and I've also created a extra ring of my own, and that's on left on the D-pad. If I go here, I've got pet buff 77, but it's not really that, it's just to put stuff in and to show you guys it's on left on the D-pad, okay? Going back to bindings, right trigger down is for your pet ring. You may not use that, but it's there. We follow down. I haven't bound a lot of this because we don't need to bind it. So we've got previous and next action bar on up and down on the D-pad. Following along, we've got the zoom in and out. Continuing on, we've got nothing in here. Now push to talk, something that we would like to bind. Again, you could put that maybe wherever you want, but for now it's not bound. But I don't know how often you guys are going to be talking, but anyway, that's an option. at any of this. Miscellaneous, there's not a lot in here. Keep going down. Jumpers on A, toggle auto run. Now, I haven't put any target markers. This may be something you want, but I'm not sure how often these are going to come up. Maybe for doing dungeons and that and raids, but that's a hard one. I've just got it so the basic system's set up for playing, right? Okay, so right bumper is to target nearest enemies. Left trigger plus right bumper. So you're cycling enemies with bumper, and then you're also cycling allies while holding left trigger and bumper. And then left trigger, left bumper to target self. Again, these might not come in all that handy, but they have to be done just in case. Interactive targets are 3. Okay, so that's everything on the bindings page. Going across, there is a lot of settings here, and I can't remember. So a person's asked about saving. So there's your save button there for key bindings, and you might want to make sure you don't have it on a character specific and that you have it on all. So depending on, it doesn't matter what character you log into, all these are going to be the same, which would be ideal. Moving along, we've got the interface options. And then just follow along, pausing as you go. You can see what I've got turned on. I've got these all turned on. I've got none of these turned on. None of these are bound. Across here I have enabled, and I actually changed the color to white. You can have any color you like though. Interface cursor, I've got it enabled. Show default button, enable animation. You shouldn't be touching a lot of this stuff in here. Enable mouse handling. We've got reticle targeting is off. You probably don't want that on. We've got show center toolkit. Automatically control cursor pickups, show icon, show status. I've got this on redirect, but you may want to change that. Just see how you go, okay? And this is for your raid cursor. Again, I've got none of these on. I've got this, it's dynamic. There's everything here. Next to settings, there's quite a few in here. None of this should be touched. The setting doesn't seem to say which is over the shoulder, because as soon as you self-target, it goes back to center. So I kind of gave up on that option. So you can just go straight past that. Make sure analog movement's on. It's just much smoother. I've got it with in combat. Hide cursor on jump. Hide cursor on stick and put both. Emulation, shouldn't have to touch any of this. Interact key is on gamepad, and I've got the arc allowance on cone. Show target icon, show object icon. I've got all those on. Targeting I've got on gamepad, enemy explicit, show soft target nameplate and enemy and friendly nameplates, so you know what you're targeting. Let's go further down. I've enabled touchpad cursor, exclusive click and right touch tap right click, okay. And that just means you get a little bit more extra control here, and you can click through these pages with your right trackpad, which is quite nice, okay. And then on here, you've got your rings, and that's about it from in here. So I can show you in game now. my personal setup. We'll go over here. So we'll start in town. So basically, it's on soft target. So if you look at something at someone, it'll lock them. Okay. And that's for heals or whatever you want it to be. And then if you want to hard lock them, you push left trigger and then right bumper, and then it's locked to them. You can see that. And if there's multiple people around, like here, you can actually cycle through them by holding left trigger and right bumper. And then if you want to turn off that hard lock, you just push the escape key or your menu key, like it brings you to here, okay? And that's how you unlock your hard lock target. So it's pretty good for you guys that are healing, or if you've got to do buffs or anything like that. Next up would be raid buffs. Not raid buffs, like if you're doing a dungeon, you can push the left bumper and that will bring up this icon here, so you can target through your party with up and down the D-pad and heal from there without having to cycle through, which is also a great option. You can just push the escape button again, or you actually just push the bumper again, I should say, left bumper, to turn that off. So next up after that, we'll go and do some combat stuff. Now, as you can see, I've got all my abilities on the bottom bar here. So up and down on the D-pad goes through your pages, okay? It's pretty straightforward. You can see it's soft locked that B already, so all I can do, I can just push Y and then B. That'll start attacking. And you right click on the analog stick to loot, and A to pick up your items. The left options button brings up the map. Okay, and then like I've got other abilities on the pad here. So left trigger and X does my long attack. Pretty straightforward. And then see, I've got my rage on left and right trigger plus B. My berserk, I should say. And then I'll go left trigger and Y to do that attack there. So it's pretty straightforward. And then right on the D-pad will bring up my bag. And this bag here on the left D-pad will include things that are for quest pickups. And the right one is my home one, which will have, I'm putting all my buffs and that in. Okay. And you can turn and turn off different abilities from in there. But of course you can put whatever you want in either of these two pads. And then left,
I need a target.
and then after that, A is jump, of course. And then you've got your mouse pad on right here. So one thing you might be wondering is if you find a person out in the world and you want to be able to, like, say private chat them, you might come up to this person here. So we'll hard lock them by left trigger, right bumper, move our mouse over, and then on your left analog, I've got click, and that will give you the ability to then do what you want to do from here, okay? The next option I have on the left trackpad is if you want to go to chat, you can click that and it'll bring up the chat pad and you can type. And remember, you can move that to top or bottom by clicking that options button. Pretty straightforward. I think that is the majority of what you're probably going to need to get started. That is about it. Of course, you can set other things as well. One thing I haven't set here is to open all bags at once. Most people will set it to the top 2 option buttons, and that will open both bags. We could do that now, and I can show you how to do it. So you go to controls, and we'll go to bindings. We'll go back to the top, and what we're going to look for is our we're looking for our bag. So we just need to look for it. It'll be in here somewhere. That's chat. Interface. See, so what we want to do is toggle open all backpacks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it both of the option buttons, okay? So I'll do that again, bound it, and we'll go like that, and then we'll close it. Oh my goodness, let's do that again. Close, save it, and then we can close out of here. Now when I do that, it will open all your bags, okay? So it's easy to add things in, just got to keep that in mind. Next thing I'm going to show you is how to add and move spells to your list, because it can get quite complicated later on as you get more. So we'll go over to our spells and say we want to add my auto shot. What you want to do is push options, and you're basically going to want to go, you want to click the action bar, but don't go pick up. And then you're going to tap with your finger on the bar you want to put it on. So we'll put it there, okay? That's how I want it done, because otherwise you're going to get some weird thing. So Hunter's Mark, pick up, we'll put it there, okay? And then we'll close that and say we want stuff on page 2. We'll do the same thing. We'll go back to our spell book. We'll put the Serpent Sting, pick up. Whoops, pick up. And we'll put it there. All right. So now when you go through your pages, they're there. Now to remove them, just use your finger, and what you're going to want to do is just drag them out and drop them, okay, by clicking in the right analog stick once you've picked it up. Or if you see that I've still got this and I'm not dropping it, one option is to use the click on this side. It's because I'm in chat here, so let's just fix that. Okay, so say we want to drop this. We pick it up, and then we use the click. Done. Okay? Now, if this seems quite complicated, it kind of is, and it will take you time, but you will eventually figure out how to use this, and you may want to change it to how you want to use it, but I think it's actually quite well done, to be honest. And this is all in preparation for looking forward to our discovery that's out tomorrow. So thanks again, guys. Hopefully this is helpful. A bit more of a relaxed video today. I'll see you guys out there. Catch us later.